Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today we'll be talking about the second video of our anatomy series, which is the eyes. So the first part of your eye that we'll be talking about is called the cornea, right? The cornea is the front layer of your eye, and it is known for bending light that enters your eye, and also helps you identify objects that may be too far or that may be too close. Your cornea is also accounting for 2/3 of your eye's total optical power. Next, we'll be talking about the pupil. The pupil is the black dot in the center of your eye, as you guys can see in the images. The pupil acts as a gateway for light to enter, and your pupil expands in dim light and it shrinks in bright light. So for example, when you go to the eye doctor and they dilate your eyes, right, your pupils will widen so the doctors can take a clearer look inside your eye and better examine the back of your eye as well. Now we'll be talking about the iris. So the iris is basically your eye color. When someone asks you the question, what color is your eye? You'll be talking about the color of your iris. So your iris can be in several different colors, as you can see in the image. Your iris is a muscle that basically controls the size of your pupils as well as the amount of light that enters your eye. Now we'll talk about the lens. The lens is behind the iris and the pupil. It works with your cornea to focus the light that enters your eye, just like a camera. So when you zoom into something, that's your lens that you're zooming. Now we talk about the lens that brings the image in front of you into sharp focus and allows you to see details very clearly. Next, we'll be talking about the retina. So your retina is located at the very back of your eye and is basically a layer of tissue that transforms the light that comes into your eye into electrical signals that will then be transported into the brain where they recognize these images. So for example, when you look at a wall, right, and you're trying to decipher what color the wall is, you see a wall in front of you and then you don't instantly recognize that it's, say, green, right? When you look at the wall, that information will then go through the electrical signals from your retina into your brain. And that processing is done through the optic nerve. So your optic nerve is what connects your retina to the brain. It's basically kind of like a small wire that you can see in the right. It is known for transmitting the electrical signals that formed in your retina and transfers them to your brain. Now we turn to the sclera. The sclera is basically the whitest part of your eye, and it is known to be a protective covering. And it is made up of a thick liquid called vitreous humor. Next, we'll be talking about the tears. So your tears are basically meant to keep your eyes wet and help you focus very clearly. Your tears are very important, as if your eyes become very dry, then possible damage can occur. So your tears really help you to protect your eyes from irritation and infections. Now let's take a look at what conditions that could affect your vision. So there are several conditions that you can see here. First, we'll talk about aging. So as you age, right, as you get older and older, your vision starts to become less and less. Another possible condition is diabetes, as well as damage to your eye. When you look into the sun, right, you don't want to look directly into the sun, as that could damage your eyes. A few diseases that could affect your vision are glaucoma and cataract, as well as infections and dry eyes. Next, we'll be talking about color blindness. So color blindness is basically when you're unable to see colors in a normal way, and it can usually occur when someone cannot distinguish between certain colors, as well as occurs between green color and red color, as well as in rare conditions sometimes blue as well. So as you can see in the image to the right, you can see people when they're not colorblind, they can see colors very vibrantly, but people who are colorblind can see things like this. So for example, when you go to a stop sign, right, if you're colorblind, you won't see red, right? You might see green because it usually occurs between red and green. For colorblind people, red will be seen as green and green will be seen as red. Lastly, we'll be talking about nearsighted versus farsightedness. So nearsightedness people can see objects nearby very clearly, but while they can see distant objects that can seem very, very blurry. Whereas farsighted people, however, can see far objects very clearly, but near objects not so clearly, as you can see in the image to the right. Well, that wraps up today's video, guys. This is the second video of the anatomy series head to toe. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.